7, so that passed, that proxy passed. We will be able to use the reserves for emergency purposes. And then now we started into our scooter discussion in the workshop meeting.
Okay. So, as I said, there's been issues with complaints about where people are storing their scooters. As scooters become more affordable, we believe the storing and charging of scooters is going to become a bigger issue. Again, this is coming out of the Rules and Regulations Committee. So we spent some time, we made some recommendations, and this is what we came up with when all was said and done after much discussion. Existing pads with electrical outlets outside of the buildings. It is suggested that current pads and electrical boxes, I'm sure you all seen them, people are setting them beside their condos. They pay to have electricity run out of their condo, and they plug in their scooters outside. There's a few of those, there's not a lot, there's 3. They were approved by the previous property manager, but there's no paperwork that can be located. So we assume they got it approved. They said they got it approved. We're gonna have grandfather approved, okay? But once the condo is sold or changes hands, either by inheritance or signing over the deed to a family member, the pad and the electrical outlet must be removed. The owner will pay for the removal of the pad and the outlet and any building repairs, okay? So the ones that are here, we're gonna leave them alone. We're not trying to make anybody's life miserable. There's only 3. But still, the association electricity is not to be used to charge scooters. This includes any outlets on the railings, laundry rooms, any of that. I mean, we've got people that have them plugged into where there's like lift stations. We're gonna unplug all those, okay? Electrical cords may not be run across walkways or railings. It is suggested that portable chargers be used to charge scooters that are stored outside the owner's apartment. You can buy a small charger, you could charge it in your apartment, you could bring it outside and plug your scooter in. It was also suggested after we had this meeting that people use maybe a solar charger. I mean, there's other ways to do this, but plugging it into the laundry room, plugging it into the, I know some buildings have electrical on the railings, that we can't be allowing people to use association electrical. And the biggie here is scooters may be stored in front of its owner's parking space like this. Okay? We found they're not those bicycles that have 3 wheels, the tricycles. Those are bigger than a scooter in many cases. And then we're going to have a process for scooters. Before purchasing a scooter, you must meet with the property manager for guidelines and approval. We're going to have a scooter application form. We haven't created it yet until we get approval by the board. We're really kind of after this discussion, we will create that. You need to make an appointment with the property manager, discuss the storage location of the scooter. Will it fit in front of your parking space? Does the parking place need to be modified? Moved? Do we need to move your curb back a little bit? What do we need to do? Will you store it in your apartment? That's some of the questions that will be on the application. And then they are to discuss the charging of the scooter. We want to make sure everyone is aware of what the rules are, what you can and cannot do. Then you will obtain an approval letter from the
spot, right? There is a guest spot right outside my window.
Okay, so once we get this back.
But then the cord will be going across the walkway.
Right, so once we get this approved by the, we're gonna discuss it again in the rules and reg. We will bring it back to the board meeting, and then we will, make sure that we figure out a way that you can get what, how you need to get there.
Thank you.
Yeah, yes, it's not a meeting if Bob doesn't speak.
Bob Cozy, 27D, and on the rules and regulations, and we spent a lot of time on that. I think the general consensus was, correct me if I'm wrong, the easiest way to do it is you bring your scooter inside. Okay, I think 95 to 99% of them do bring it inside their building on the bottom floor. The main concern is the upstairs unit that we're milling around. But like I said, most everybody keeps them on the inside their lanai, I believe.
Yes. And that's why we want to have a meeting with the property manager so that we understand where these things are stored.
And some of these scooters, I thought I had heard that they're easy, it's easy to take out the battery and recharge it and then put the battery back in? No?
It's the opposite way. You have to buy a battery charger, take it in your apartment, charge the battery, bring the battery out, plug your scooter into that battery. They're portable batteries.
Okay. Yeah.
Portable chargers.
All right.
Okay. That's all the discussion I have. Thank you, everyone.
Our next discussion is going to be the lift station proposals. We recently, as you all know, the lift station had a severe plug, or whatever, however you plug, or whatever you want to call it. And in order to fix it, the Stewart Plumbing had an estimate with labor and whatever parts of $41,651.55. But we are still reviewing, and Joe Cornett can speak to this. He's still doing some shopping around, and he knows a lot about plumbing, so I'll let him speak.
That's okay. This is on, correct?
Yeah, we can hear you.
Okay, good. Right now, we only have the one quote from Stewart Plumbing. It's very vague, very basic. We're trying to chase down, I'm working with Holly. We're trying to chase down at least 2 more quotes. So far, that's been very difficult. I don't know what it is in Florida. Apparently, these companies, they must have so much business that they don't even want to return your call. But we're working on that. I'm not saying the Stewart Plumbing quote is bad. We don't have anything to compare it to. I don't even have a make and model of the pumps they want to use. So I'm trying to get a hold of them to find that out. So some of the research I've done on my own, having worked with sewer plants and all, I know these pumps to buy, they're around 15 grand a piece. We have 2 of them. So, maybe that quote's really good. I don't know. The answer is, we don't have enough information at this time to make any kind of decision on this. So, but we're working on it. That's all I can say at this time. The pumps are working. They're old. I'm told there's sand in the pit. I don't know if the sand is out of the pit. In that case, we need to get a vacuum truck in and vacuum all that out. The diapers that were creating the problem last time are out of it. But that's all I got to say at this time on it. We don't have enough information to do anything with it. So when we get that information, we'll be able to talk more realistic about what it's really going to cost us.
Yes, so in the future, you'll be getting more updates on this. Okay. Any questions, any comments? Deb, so.
Deb South, I just have a question about that. If they won't answer your phone calls, is there any way possible that you could go to them, like go right to their business?
Some of them are down in Boca. They're all over the place. That's fine. Yeah.
He has gotten an answer.
I'm targeting sewer companies. Stewart Plumbing is a plumbing contractor, so they can come in and do your kitchen and all, and do lift stations. I'd rather do deal with a company that specializes in lift stations. So that's my basic target is them. But they're all over the state.
Okay. Thank you.
There is no local ones that I know of. There may be, but I haven't found them yet.
Anyone else? Okay, we're gonna go on to the next topic, which is, a discussion of quiet hours. I've gotten recently, and it's not recent, I've gotten complaints also at other times during the last term, my last year, of noisy, certain neighbors that are noisy in the middle of the night, banging, doing all kinds of like crazy things. So something that we were considering that if once we discuss it, if it's something that we think is a viable thing we can bring to a vote, is having quiet hours. And there were two, I was thinking there's two different options. We can go with the Martin County rules. And actually this quiet hours, it's not like for noise outside, it's like basically in your apartment, loud music, loud crazy parties. You're gonna fix something at 2 a.m, you know, pounding and banging things around, that kind of noise. So we could go with Martin County, which is 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Monday through Sunday, all week long. Another option was some condo associations have weekday and weekend hours type thing. Weekdays would be something like 10 to 7 a.m. and like weekends could be something like 10 or 11 to 8 a.m. That's just something to consider. I'm wondering what people's thoughts are on that. For the most part, we don't have issues, but every once in a while there's an issue, so I'm wondering what the board thinks and what you guys think. Any comments from the board?
Yeah, on the quiet hours, it's a good idea, we can put that in the rules and regulations, but who's gonna enforce it? I don't wanna get a call at 2 o'clock in the morning because somebody over in 13 is making noise and I have to go knock on their door. If we put down the Martin County.
Oh, get closer to your mic.
Oh.
Is your mic on?
Yes, if we put quiet hours that coincide with Martin County, and there is somebody in a unit who's making an unusual amount of noise in the middle of the night, they can either knock on the door and say, hey, keep it down, or they could call Martin County Sheriff and say, here's the quiet hours, and this unit is not adhering to that, rather than putting it in where the board is gonna have to enforce it.
Oh, I don't want to be going in the middle of the night enforcing it.
Exactly, and that's why if we use the Martin County hours,
It's not a good idea.
we could call the sheriff's department and say, no, come enforce the Martin County hours, rather than having the board or some security force that we're gonna have to come up with.
Right, that part I didn't think about, okay.
I'm in total agreement with what Paul's saying. I don't want a phone call.
I agree with that too, and hopefully if somebody's having an annoyance in the middle of the night, I sleep like a brick. I don't know if I'd ever hear the phone, but hopefully they would tell us in the morning, or go knock on the neighbor and, but because of that, I would agree with the Martin County rules. Because then you can call Martin County.
If they're doing construction work, that's already in the rules. That's
Right.
all in the rule that you have to.
Right.
You can't work on Sunday, you can only work from 8 to 6.
Right.
Yeah, so that's already covered, but just general quiet hours, I think, using the Martin County standard, so that if there is an issue, law enforcement can be called and enforcing the same standard.
Okay.
I think we just, for one thing, we need to make people aware of it, that there is quiet hours, and that it will be enforced by Martin County, not by us.
Right. So if, what we can do is, now that we discussed it, we can have it,
So what I would like,
put it on the, okay.
being in the interview committee.
Get closer, Brenda. I didn't say
Can you
eating.
hear me now? Can you hear me now?
Is it on?
Yes.
Hello?
There you go.
Being on the interview committee for all these years, all new renters and owners, this is we establish these rules right through the interview. Quiet times.
Oh, you have it.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. I mean, it's in the interview, whether they're listening or not is a whole nother thing. But, we ask that they, keep it down or get earphones for the loud TVs or the sounds. Be mindful of your neighbors.
Maybe just a friendly behind the guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, and we need to get it. And we need to get it added into the rules and regs, because I'm not, Bob isn't in there? Do we have anything about the quiet hours?
I believe it's not.
Okay, so we'll get it updated in the form also, and,
Also, the work times, not allowed.
I think that is in there.
That's already there.
That's all part of the interview committee too, so
Okay.
it's all established right in the beginning.
Okay, so it needs to go to rules and regs, so
That's me.
this discussion will close it out for now.
Yep,
Revisit it when we need to revisit it.
and we'll get it, I mean, I think is that something we need to get approved, or is that just something we say we're?
Peter Stafford, 46J. It seems to me, since we're in Martin County, it's already a rule. We don't need to add it to anything. It's already in place, right?
I think we put it in our rules and reg just as saying that it's a Martin County rule, because people use that as like a guideline. So we're just gonna stay in the rules and regs that quiet hours is based on Martin County, and we'll get the number and we'll
And will be
make it
enforced
all
by the
clear.
sheriff.
Yes.
Yeah.
That'll stop the phone calls to the board.
No.
So don't wake up Sabrina.
Yeah, right, if you could wake up Sabrina. Okay, so moving on to, so any more comments, questions on this topic before we move on? Okay, next discussion is going to be about the committee assignments.
Do you have to, do you want me to do it? You want me to just-
I can do it. I have the sheet.
I don't have the names on it.
Oh. Wait, all right, well, everybody knows.
Everybody knows, yeah.
Okay, so we're gonna go through these, there's a whole bunch of committees, we're gonna go through the committees, and, the person who has chosen to work on that committee will give us their name, will,
There's no one
type
standing.
in, so.
Oh, Dave. I got the machine here.
A ghost wants to do their laundry.
It's not a quiet hour.
All right, so. The first committee is the budget committee, and that's usually, that's the vice president and treasurer that are on that. So,
That's Brenda.
so that's gonna be Brenda and Eileen that are on the budget committee. The next committee is the planning committee, that usually, has one director on it. Who's doing planning?
That will be me.
Okay, next committee is an interview committee, usually manned by one director. Brenda's doing interview committee. Landscape committee also manned by one member.
I would like that.
Paul. Paul is gonna be in charge of landscape, or is gonna be liaison for landscape committees. Communications, one director.
I'll take that one.
Okay, Kim was last year, she's gonna be this year also. Annual ownership meeting,
I'll take that one too.
Kim's taking the annual ownership, or owners meeting, not ownership, okay. Rules and regulations.
I'll take that one too.
Okay, some of them are easy. Personnel,
I would like to know that, and I.
And I would like to be on that one.
okay, Paul and Kim
With the president.
Are gonna be, and I will be on, the personnel committee. Reserves Investment Committee is usually is always pretty much the treasurer and the manager, and also is the finance committee chair. Yeah. So that's established. Salary review. Salary review is always the vice president, treasurer, and one director, whoever the one director wants to be. So it'll be Brenda, Eileen, and who else? Not me.
I'll push down. Just need, I'll put it in pencil.
All right, but that one's not that bad.
That was a couple of meetings.
I'll explain it to you, because the majority of the work was done by her. And then she's. I've done it, because I was vice president, so I'm not gonna throw you in the deep end of the pool, help you all out.
They'll surely bury me on the end of
Okay, so. I'll put pencil, because we're not approved, we're gonna do the approval in a couple of weeks. Okay, golf course maintenance. Dick's gonna be on that one. Finance, the finance committee liaison, that's Eileen.
And Brenda.
Not for finance committee. For the finance committee?
Yeah. VP, treasurer.
And one director. For the finance committee liaison is one person. Not per, I mean, that was. Okay, we'll have to double check. That's who was on it last time. Last time, because I was.
Oh, because you were on it.
Yeah,
you with the treasurer.
yeah, because I had a line.
That's right, you were a member.
And I was a chair, I had to step down as a chair, and we voted, because you're usually only supposed to have one. And they voted because it was hard to man and to find people to take it. The board voted to allow another person, so
Yes.
that's why they were that many.
Yes.
Maybe we'll leave it like this for now, and we'll get clarification.
Per statute is what's on your list in front of you. I mean, per resolution.
Yes, this sheet.
No, the other sheet, that
Yes,
sheet.
one director.
One director.
All right.
Who is that?
Eileen.
Eileen? Okay, now, and we're not approving this today, we're approving it at the board meeting coming up in 2 weeks. So if there's things that we clean up on this or change around, then we'll bring it back up at that meeting. All right, and expense oversight.
Okay, that is only required when we have less than 3 people in a,
And we have 4.
in season, and we have 4.
That's
So
all year
it's-
round.
It's a required committee, but in the committee, it says you only have to staff it if we don't have enough people here in residence.
So we're not gonna staff it.
So we're not gonna staff.
Okay, more liaison.
Me again. Oh, good.
Liaison to mixed golf. Dick is the liaison, Dick is the liaison to mixed golf. And for now, that's all the committees, and, they're probably gonna stay like this, and, I would like, and if there's any changes, we can bring it up at the annual, not at the next board meeting, and I'd like to have this added to the agenda so that we can approve it. And if we have changes, we'll make the changes and then approve it.
And then what we will also do is,
everybody needs to go back to their committee, make sure we still have all the chairpersons and the members, and that we're fully staffed. If we're not, it'll go on Channel 99, and we'll go from there. Okay, it'll be on Channel 99 for 2 weeks. My plan right now is to go in there, do one slide, have it there for 2 weeks, and have it gone. So if you're interested and we would like, people to become involved, if you're interested in being a committee, let the chairperson for that committee know that. Or, I'm sorry, the board liaison for that committee. Okay?
You know what, once this is finalized next, I think all the board members should have it.
Oh, yeah, no. I will update that sheet that Paul has in front of him. I will update that sheet and send it out to all the board members and make sure that everybody is on the same page.
Yeah, because for now, I'm still on the finance committee, but I'm gonna be discussing that with him and trying to figure things out with that.
But the board, the committee chairs call the meetings.
The committee chairs call the meetings, and usually you are not the committee chair.
Right.
So, the only one that it was that the board member was the committee chair was the rules and regulations. We rewrote that resolution. Anyone on the rules and reg can be the committee chair now. Okay?
And the one last committee is the hearing committee.
Oh,
By
yes.
statute,
Oh, yeah.
a board member cannot be on the hearing committee, so.
Exactly.
That is a board committee.
So the finding committee, we have been doing it wrong for the last few years. Wally is the chairperson of that. You will see up here the underlined portion. This is from Florida Statute 718.303.3.b, if you'd like to know. It says, for a finding committee, at least 3 members are appointed by the board who are not officers, directors, or employees of the association, or the spouse, parent, child, brother, or sister of an officer, director, or employee. The finding committee is supposed to be it's a board committee, but it's a completely separate committee that the board is not involved in. Okay? No liaison, not allowed.
It's better with no liaison because supposedly, or not supposedly, the board is the one that issues the fines. You need the finding committee to be separate and independent without us hovering over them. So it's better no liaison. They can come out after, and we're gonna find out what their ruling was, so.
Right.
We don't really need to be there, sitting in there.
The rules for the finding committee in the state of Florida are very detailed. So they always said they were gonna put a board liaison on that to keep them in line, I guess, I don't know.
And we're not supposed to be.
We're not supposed to be anywhere near that committee.
Independence.
So we will no longer have a board liaison or board member as a part of that committee. Well, you're good, right?
Yeah, the other thing I would add to that.
Hold on.
We can't hear you.
Just for information, the liaison in the past did not sit in on any meetings. Their purpose was to sit outside and then just the chairperson reported to the liaison who reported the findings to the board.
Okay, well, we're just
Never
gonna,
have a vote or anything like that.
we're just gonna have you bring it to the board from now on. Perfect. And we follow the statute.
And we don't have any legal questions.
Yep.
The word liaison is a little bit more than just somebody sitting and listening. It's kind of like a go-between.
Yeah,
So,
we don't need that.
Who was on that committee?
Chuck was on that committee.
Who is,
Oh, I'm sorry. Wally is on that committee. Who else is on your committee?
is it Paolo?
It's Manny
Manny?
Rios, Paula DeBella, Larry Wicklander, and Bob Dover.
That is correct.
My notes were right. Thank you.
Any more questions and comments about this? Yes.
Good job.
Okay, we're moving on now to the discussion and review of the resolutions. I'll let Kim do this,
This is kind of Kim's thing. Okay. This is old business. In the last board meeting, we talked about legal opinions, and they wanted to put a time limit, and, you know, if Holly wanted to talk to the lawyer, she had to wait 24 to 48 hours, and she couldn't do anything. Most of the board felt that that was too stringent. So basically what I've done is I've changed the legal opinion resolution to state the property manager or the association president, the two people that actually talk to the lawyer, will contact the entire board to make them aware of a request for legal opinions, okay? No time, and it's as simple as if Sabrina or Holly make a phone call, leave you a voicemail, you're considered talked to. If we send you an email, you're considered talked to, and they can move forward, okay?
and then anything that they need to add, these board members, they will add to our discussion. I don't think we need to make this any more detailed.
Very simplistic.
Yeah.
Any board members have any comments? Anyone on the floor? Okay, this will be brought up for vote in the next board meeting.
Yes, we want you to put on the agenda for the board meeting coming up.
And then the last one is a docking at the yacht club. There was a lot of discussion in the last board meeting about this. So I made it a lot simpler. So it's hereby resolved that motorized vessels are allowed to dock at the yacht club for picking up or dropping off passengers only. They can only use the small dock to the south of the property. The large railed dock is not to be used for docking of any kind. Okay, it's not safe. The railings are too high. And the following rules must be adhered to. If the dock is damaged, it is the responsibility of the boat owner to contact management. If the dock is damaged, it is the boat owner's responsibility for any repair cost. KMCA is not responsible for any damages to the docked vessel, and KMCA is not responsible for any injuries sustained while embarking or disembarking from a vessel onto the dock. Non-motorized vessels may tie up to the dock for no more than 8 hours. Okay? I think we covered every issue that someone brought up in the last meeting, and I think it's simpler and clearer now. Any questions from the board? Any questions from you?
Just a quick question, are you gonna have a sign that says dock at your own risk?
Oh, that's a really good idea.
We're not gonna, on your own, it's just.
Fine, we can do that.
At your own risk.
Dock at your own risk. I don't even know how you could dock a boat, it's so shallow.
It should say no docking,
Docking, period.
Yeah. Yep,
Something like that.
we can make that happen.
I mean, I think you could dock your, what do they call them, kayak probably, but beyond that, you're not getting out of there without calling
The tow truck. Boat tow. Okay, any questions, comments? Awesome. This
So
one's.
we'll add this one to the agenda also, to be voted on.
What else we got?
We can talk about the business unit, that thing.
Yes, go for it.
All right, as far as everybody else got with this last issue, the docking, the boat docking, okay. The next issue is going to be about, we received, a questionnaire with a certain FHA mortgage or any mortgage. If we receive a questionnaire, the questionnaires are very detailed for mortgages. Our management company, because of the liability, is not willing to sign or fill out these questionnaires. And we also discussed this with the attorney, who advised us not to fill out these questionnaires because of the liability. And because of that, and the fact that we hardly ever get any of these types of mortgages, we have decided not to bring any liability onto the board and onto the whole association. We
do not want to fill out these questionnaires. What we will do is, what we have been discussing to do, and we can discuss it some more, is put out some kind of a, something in writing stating that we are not going to fill out any type of mortgage questionnaire. These mortgage questionnaires are very, very specific. They want, they're like, the one we were looking at was like almost 10 pages long, 8 pages, and it asks for everything. And
Wasn't that just as Fannie Mae though?
Yes.
that one was a Fannie Mae, but for whatever mortgage company we get them, we don't want to fill them out, because what we're doing is we are saying, and that's something discussed in the emails.
Can I see that?
So there are, and it's not that we don't want to fill them out.
It's, we're gonna bring liability.
It's the questions that they ask, and they ask questions like, does the report from the licensed engineer indicate that the project is structurally sound and that the condition and remaining useful life of the project's major components are sufficient? Okay, if we answer yes to this, first off, we don't know. If we answer yes to this and something happens, we can be sued. Okay, so we would prefer, most lenders don't ask these kind of questions. So we would just prefer not to answer them, so that we aren't liable for something later on. Because the idea of being sued is not, that doesn't sound like a lot of fun. So,
And there's a lot of questions like that.
there's a lot of questions about how structurally sound we are. When we were built, have we had this integrity study done? You know, all these big questions that we would have to go out, hire somebody to do all this stuff, and then answer the questions.
And the thing is, let's say they had an engineering report, and it said everything was sound, but maybe the engineer missed something. And then, we can get sued on that one little thing. There's a myriad of things that could happen, which I myself am not willing to put the whole community and the board at risk doing this. If the attorney's not going to do it, and he advises us against it, and the management company doesn't want to do it, why are we going to put ourselves out there to do it? I don't think we're qualified to do this. So, in my opinion, I'm against it, but I do think we need to let all owners know. We need to put something out there in writing that lets the owners know that this is something that we are not going to be doing, so they can advise their seller or their buyer, whoever wants to buy and is thinking of getting a mortgage, that we're not going to be filling out these things. So. Any comments, questions?
There was a portion, though, of this, these requests that were filled out by, there was a portion of this, the addendum is where the serious parts came in.
Yes.
The first part was answered by the management, by the Holly, that were reasonable. The addendum is where it got very difficult and where the lawyer had said, you know, we could be liable. He himself wouldn't fill it out and represent us, so there is somewhat of a form they will fill out.
It's very, that form is very basic.
You know, if they ask us, well, how much is in our reserves, or how much do we have insurance? How much insurance do we have? Who is it with? Those kind of questions we answer. It's when they start talking about the structural integrity of our buildings, whether we've had these reports done, what we are doing about it, you know, it's just.
These are new, the addendum was added after Surfside.
Right.
And since we didn't give mortgages for the last 2 or 3 years anyways, we hadn't faced this before.
Right.
And even before that, they haven't had, nobody really comes in here with those kind of mortgages, and you can answer better.
No, I look back, the last mortgage that was handled was through Navy Federal Credit Union, and it was not a Fannie Mae. In my past with even Chris, we stayed away from Fannie Mae and Freddie Mac. Those are government loans, and that's where it gets very involved with all this information.
How many years ago was the last time you remember seeing something like this?
But the Fannie Mae, no, we haven't. And even the last one we did in August, there are very few mortgages that come through, most are cash. The last mortgage I saw was Navy Federal Credit Union, very similar, simple questions that were answered. It's these involved addendums that get into the structure and our buildings, and that's where the liabilities can come in. That's all I know.
How many years ago, Mrs. Shields?
How many years?
Sabrina's question was, how many years ago do you remember that?
I don't remember a Fannie
It's been a
Mae.
long- No, not a Fannie Mae, mortgage, the federal one, maybe federal one, and you said the legal.
August, this 24.
I got one, just for clarification, I agree with you 100% on that. But you're still taking mortgages in if it's not the complicated thing, right? Is that what we're saying?
Yes,
For clarification?
any mortgage that doesn't ask for this lengthy questionnaire, we're good with.
Okay, thank you.
But if you have one that's gonna ask us like every single structural question, we're not gonna do that. One of those lengthy.
Art Luke, 22B. I don't think you or Holly and the management company need to beat yourself up as to why these are being rejected. It's totally understandable, but as a licensed realtor of 50 years in Wisconsin, I just think that the disclosure that you're talking about to our sellers, so that the sellers understand and the realtors understand that it's not acceptable.
That's what we'd like to do. That's
Okay.
what we're discussing.
Thank you.
Okay. Okay, I would like to have this added to the agenda so that we, vote on having something written up to disclose it to the buyers and sellers of Monterey.
Hey Brenda, when somebody puts a unit up for sale, do they let the office know?
I think right now, it's through the realtor. I don't know that they let the office know.
They're not required to.
No.
So, okay.
Until a contract actually is signed, I think that's when it comes. Application through the office,
Okay,
contract.
okay.
So
Are we talking about notifying every owner here, or just putting together something for buyers and sellers?
Putting something in writing that they can maybe see on 99.
We can put it on 99 and we can.
NYCC.
The NYCC Stewart, website, we can make things so that owners and realtors, realtors can see something. So when they come out to our website, we could have a disclaimer on there. I think I'd have to get with Chris for specifics.
And could we talk to Art to help maybe with that language?
Yes.
If Art would be willing to assist with putting together the language to realtors on what we will or won't do?
Yeah, would you prove that for us?
Certainly.
Perfect.
And maybe we can email blast it
One time.
once we're to everybody, once we got it all straightened out and. Yes, chip shots.
Yeah.
Peter Stafford, 46J. I was just looking on Redfin. You can look on Zillow and your others, but you can filter. If you're looking for a house, you can do filters, and what are you looking for? Beds, bath, and whatnot. One of the filters is accepted financing, and the options are any, FHA, and VA. So if you just make it known, hey, we do not accept FHA financing, then it'll, people will know, okay, you're not going to go into that kind of requests for information. So that's a known thing. A lot of people do not accept FHA financing.
Huh. We'll have to figure out how to get that on there.
The one thing we were thinking of is if we specify a particular type of a mortgage and then another kind of mortgage, it's not federal,
mortgage comes up with this big questionnaire, we're not gonna wanna do that either. So it could be some conventional mortgage through, I don't know, any bank, that if they're gonna ask for that questionnaire too, we don't wanna do that. So we can specify FHA and VA or whatever, whichever ones ask for all this, but we really don't want to get into that questionnaire for any bank. Are we good? Any more comments on this? All right. Any owner comments on anything?
And our recycle bins we have outside of our building 1 and 2, we have half of recycle bin filled with wet garbage, paint rollers, banana peels, supermarket bags, and this has been going on week after week. We cannot find, we've been checking it out all the time. We can't find who's responsible for it. And
Someone's coming in. Yeah, you're not supposed to about that. That's garbage, actual garbage.
Yeah, don't stop there. Don't stop there. It's fireplace tools, shelving, medicine cabinet. I mean, I know we can do this, you know, we all have to be, you know, stewards of the earth. But it's atrocious, some of the stuff I pulled out of our recycle bin. You know, the other thing is cardboard. Everybody's stacking big pieces of cardboard between the bins. Waste management can't handle it. Now that the arm comes out and goes up into the truck, they flip all that cardboard up onto the grass. So, you know, when I see it, I get my razor knife and I cut it up and I throw it in where it's supposed to. But we all need to do this. You know, it's not like somebody else's problem, like, you know, say Patty's Day's coming up, there's no little leprechaun going to come out and cut up the cardboard, you know?
So, Joe, in the rules, when it talks about recycling, it does say if you have large cardboard, put it between the bins.
Oh, we need to stop that.
We need to change that.
Okay, thanks, Paul, I did not know
Is that in the rules booklet?
I believe it is, I read it just the other day.
I'll double check
Okay,
that.
we need to revise that, because that's all waste management's doing now, is they're throwing it up on the grass in a big heap.
Teresa, aren't you right here in building 1?
yes.
Yeah, so I wonder if somebody's coming from outside, and that's.
I was just gonna talk about that, not only from outside, but some of the people that are on our campus area, maybe like a banana peel, they ate a banana, they see that garbage can the closest, they're gonna throw it in there, or we're throwing it in those little garden boxes, they don't even know that's probably garbage. So I'm thinking that might be that wet garbage and stuff might come from people that are working on our premises. But I have somebody.
This is an ongoing thing for the last month we've been checking it. And it's all, somebody gets garbage day after day.
Well, it takes 45.
We can't find them.
My question is, I know it's been several years, but is it on schedule for the buildings to be painted soon? Because in my opinion, the face of my building is in dire need of repainting.
What we were doing is we were gonna repaint as we fix them, is what we were doing. But if there's, I don't know where on the list your building is for repair, I don't know. I don't know. But that's kind of how we were gonna do it, because if we were gonna fix them, if we were gonna paint it and then next year we're fixing it, then we would have to repaint, so we were kind of but maybe we can see about touching up and making it look halfway decent. I don't know. What will,
I've already gone that route of touching it up, and because of the sun, it just, now it blotches all over the
okay,
building.
well, what building number are you?
45.
45. I'll see where, I gotta look at the list of the buildings that we're gonna be fixing, and I gotta see maybe if you're a ways away, maybe we can add that to a painting list or something.
the front of it,
Yeah, the rest of it. Yeah, we'll
research that, okay?
Are you staying with the same codes?
Yes.
Item 22B, back on the last subject, might it be wise to, I don't think it's a lot of our folks that are violating. I wonder if you call somebody to come on in and paint your unit, they're gonna go out and they're gonna throw that paint roller.
Yeah, that's true.
They're gonna throw that.
Right.
So, and they're probably the guys eating the bananas. No, just a thought is we gotta let our unit owners know.
This is our
notify your
recycling.
contractors of what goes in there. Thank you.
That's very
Okay.
possible.
Power 29B.
I've seen aids, that plenty of people have an aid in here, and they throw the trash in the recycling. When I do see it, I say, hey, you're supposed to not do that, but I've seen that plenty of times, so they're not knowing. I'm sure they're not doing it on purpose, they just do it for flushers too.
It's the closest available bin, Nelson Rio's not.
Our recycling bins.
Yeah, but they might not know, this is what I want. I did go to an aid once, and they didn't know that our garbage can was the garden box. Because it's not a garbage, it doesn't look like a garbage.
Yeah, but they can't just throw the garbage loose.
Exactly.
Yeah.
This is not only an occasional thing that someone is throwing their garbage from their home every day, every would it be beneficial to put a sign, we put a sign on top.
There's a sign on everything.
We put a sign on the garbage can in a plastic bag, and that disappears. But the garbage the waste stuff in plastic supermarket bags is still coming. Yesterday, there were several supermarket bags filled with kitchen's garbage. And paint rollers were in there also, small.
I don't know how to resolve.
So what I'm thinking is, where do you live? What apartment are you in? She's in one, so people see, you know who it is. So when you guys see this happening, you gotta come and report it.
We've been monitoring, trying to monitor.
You need, when you guys know who it is, or you see stuff like this, you need to report it so that we can send letters or do something about it. Otherwise, we can't do anything about it.
Tina Jones, 45H. When you do the notice to owners, let contractors know not to throw their stuff into the bins, painting supplies, etc. Also, seen them hired painters come in, do the job, and rinse out their brushes and rollers and containers at the base of the trees around the property when they're done. That could be added, that they need to clean them in the laundry room or take them with them.
I don't know how we deal with that, do we? Like,
So Sabrina, should we maybe think about on the clipboard where people sign in, that we put a notice to the vendors, to the
clean your, take your garbage.
just some notes or rules or, you know.
We can do that. We can add
Don't
some
throw your
stuff.
garbage, clean your stuff out, don't leave.
Don't throw your stuff in the recycle bin and.
You might want to make it
what I was
bilingual, you might want to put it in Spanish too.
Oh, right, good point.
Right.
Okay.
know what they think, what I was saying. They didn't know
Oh,
what I was
okay,
saying.
okay. Got it. We'll work on that,
We gotta figure out how to deal with our diaper and, our wipes problem too, because we're gonna keep getting this over and over.
Yes.
Putting signs on the top of the recycle bin.
Right.
I'm sorry, Teresa, what'd you say?
About putting signs on the top of the recycle bin, we've done that.
It doesn't matter.
I don't think that's gonna work.
Yes, we've done that.
But maybe making it bilingual might help.
We don't have a list of people that have AIDS.
Helpers.
Nursing aides.
Nursing aides.
They don't know. Oh, you're right, something could be, it's not that go upstairs. She doesn't know what goes in the trash.
Right.
Right. Yeah.
That flushing a diaper down the toilet, I don't get that one. We gotta even get it to go down.
They advertise on the.
Okay, this is, still, how do you get it to go, how do you not plug your?
How do we get information like that out to workers?
That's supposed to be the owner's responsibility. Like, you have contractors come into your home, whether it's, a caretaker, someone to come paint your living room or whatever. It's the owner's responsibility to say, our trash is downstairs in this, we have these white bags, you gotta put it in here, or take it with you, it's up to the owners to tell people, tell the healthcare worker, do not flush anything down the toilet, here's the trash bag here and some, other bags to put those kind of things in here to be disposed of properly and not be flushed. But again, it all falls back to the owner, that's supposed to educate.
I'm gonna piggyback, no surreals, Nina. Is there any way we can do like a handout, not to everyone, but, because just think about it, if you have a person that has a caretaker now on aid, and they've just gone through surgery, they've gone through something that they've never been, they're not gonna think to tell them to throw that trash out, but if we can make something available that they can pick up and hand it or have it on display in their apartment or condo, that they can read it and say, these are the guidelines. I'm just thinking of those
Something for the garbage and the other situation, we could do that, put both on one sheet bilingual.
How do you know who's getting an aid?
We don't.
Well, that's why you have to put it on the building reps.
You can put it on 99 or put it available, or you know that there's, we can do that too. But I'm saying it's available, you don't want to just hand it to everyone, but if, let's say, God forbid, I'm gonna take Linda as an example. She knows the rules and regulations now she's gonna need a caretaker, she knows that she was available, she can pick it up and bring it to her unit. So that when the caretaker does come in or an aide, they know to read that, because when someone's going through a situation or surgery, they're not gonna think to tell these people what to do.
What if we put together a notice in English and in Spanish, we give it to all the building reps, we let you hand deliver it to every owner, so we aren't singling anyone out, and then,
And we put it on 99.
and we put it on 90.
It's just something that's available.
Yes.
It's not- yes.
Let's attach it to the chip shops and then make them.
Yes. And did you that?
Bod Code 2017, we've been talking about this for 15 years, okay, and that I know of. I think every recycling bin has what you cannot and what you can put in there, correct?
No.
No? Okay, well, that's the first step we should get, I know ours does. Okay, they have, ours has there's a picture of it, what you can and cannot do on all our cans like that.
I've seen ours in our laundry room, not on our recycling.
Well, ours are on the recycling bins itself.
Yeah.
I still pull out a plastic bag the other day, somebody's name on it.
Just to bring up that Ann Christmas is the one that gets the emails for the ship shots, and she hears a lot of ship shot. She said if she doesn't get an email, it won't go in ship shots. So please direct everything to Ann Christmas email. And if you don't have it, I think the office has it, or is it on 99? It's on 99.
Thank you.
March 99.
Do you have other stuff to use?
All I want, the last thing are we done with that discussion?
Is everybody all set with this? Anybody have anything else to say? Well, I have something to say.
Just a thought, how about we put a designated container next to the recycle and put garbage only?
That's something else that we have to pick up. Yeah.
It's very hard to empty for the guy that picks up the garbage.
Yeah.
Manual.
Frank is our garbage man. Garbage pickup man.
It's just spreading.
It's fine. At least threaten a fine.
Right. Well, if people see what's happening and they report it, then we can, you know, send letters, and then if things continue, that happens, so, but, if you just bring it in here and say this is happening, I don't know who's doing it, so we can't really do anything about it like this. I don't want it happening, but I need you, when you see something happening, you gotta report it, you gotta bring it to the office.
Okay, I created this trifold on how to create a work order on Manica. I discussed it at the last board meeting. I had some people try it. I got some feedback. We've made it better. They're back there underneath the blue heron sign picture. Use them. If you have any questions, give me a call. There's numbers for the office on the back. Danny is more than happy to help you. It also has the after-hours emergency number that goes directly to Watson in it. And it's a step-by-step. It's very simplistic on how to create an electronic work order. So there's some back there. We'll keep it replenished, and we'll go from there. Thank you.
Can I ask a question?
Yes, you can ask whatever you want.
I don't need a microphone.
It's over comments time.
For the TV.
Oh, YouTube. I would like to request that our booklet that you give out to all the new owners with their phone numbers and things, the date be changed that you do that. Right now it's March 13th, and all of the old officers, all of the old committees, all of that is in that book. I don't know when you publish that, but it would be nice if it was after your.
That's actually a Laura question. Come on, Laura.
I would work more on this. The second question is, Kim, that's a beautiful little thing that you created.
Thank you.
Maybe you could do one for ladies golf.
I actually had already talked to Eileen about that, and I actually could do that. In fact, you can put me on that, whatever that committee is, I will do it. Because she's actually a program, I do it on my own. Yeah, she was like, how did you do that? It's like, I use Publisher. And she was like, I don't have that. So, yeah, I can do that for you.
So to answer her question on the, are you talking about the directory, the booklet? That's only published once a year. It goes to the publishing in November, and it comes out before December to January to hand out. So I don't know how else like right now it's gonna all change, and we will not see that change until.
Right, so, you know, so take it to the publisher, or right after the annual meeting,
To change that
officers, and have it sent out, you know, the next month or whatever.
No, we're talking about the whole, we're talking about.
Last year you started the booklet, after March, so it's good in April or, I don't know.
We'll talk about it, the problem with that is that the advertising, most of the people and the local
They want it for
businesses.
the season.
Yes, and they're slow during the summer, so they don't have the funds to be able to put into the ads. And the other thing is, each booklet costs us $4 and change, and we make the collection donation once a year. So are we saying now we want to do maybe 2 collections and do 2 booklets?
No, actually, that's a book.
No, just change what, yeah.
We'll talk about it anymore.
I mean, this isn't for here.
I thought that we were talking about putting that directory up on our website.
It is.
It is.
It is there.
So changes can be made.
But the make it on the website, the one that we can't change is the physical one.
No, please don't ask the communicating, that's a lot of work.
No, not the whole booklet. It is down there, it's on there now, and you can't
They're
change it.
pictures, right now they're just pictures.
Okay,
It's
so
not-
that's not
It's a lot harder work than what everyone thinks it is.
Well, why don't you just update the laundry room sheet?
We do.
Yeah, we are.
That's not get updated.
That's gonna be updated immediately.
Yeah, that's.
Hold on.
Judy Roberts, 17J. Just first of all, I want to say thank you to everyone that supported us when we did the apparel sale. And we have received the Fund Aid shirts that were ordered. I've got those here with me today. If I didn't catch you, stop by and pick yours up. We also had a minimum order on those boards that we didn't meet, so we have extras. If someone is still interested in buying a Fun Day t-shirt, they're $15, so you can see me. You're gonna see me at every meeting, every function coming up, still trying to peddle the wares here. We've got koozies and water bottles, and we've got a couple hats remaining as well, so thank you.
And speaking of Fun Day starts on Friday night with the ice cream social, and it's being sponsored by a social committee at 5 o'clock. Thereafter, we're going to have the Super Bingo, which is very, very popular. Saturday, the 22nd, we'll have the regular coffee free in the morning, the bike parade, and lots of games, as well as a lunch available for purchase. So please come out. It's a very, very fun time for the whole community and for us to get together.
What day?
March 22nd, Saturday. The other thing is on Monday, the 24th, is our next MORA meeting here at 7 p.m. We will have a guest speaker, Steve McKenna, which is an independent agent, and he's going to address any questions and stuff about changes through Medicare and prescription Medicare.
What time is it? 7 o'clock.
So, Peter's good. Where'd you go, right?
I just want to thank the new board for their service.
Thank you. I also, my last comment, I'm going to thank the previous board for all their work and all their service. I thank them all for everything they did. And I'm happy to welcome the new board, and I think we're going to do good things together. Congratulations to all of you. And now we're going to set the meeting for the board meeting. The actual board meeting is going to be on Tuesday, March 25th at 10 a.m.
Can we go the week before that?
Oh, because you're gonna be on vacation.
I'm gone. And I'm sorry, but my wife will not let me cancel it.
Okay. All right.
You just roll in.
You don't have to be here. We're just gonna approve these,
Okay.
and we'll have forums. We might have some more things to discuss, and that's okay. If you want, we
But
can zoom
basically,
you
it's
in.
just a quick, we can zoom you in if you wanted.
Okay, all right.
But, it's just a quick recap of what we already did here, and we just vote.
We vote, and, I
It should be quick,
yeah.
Okay, all right.
so we can make.
And we do have, because a lot of us aren't here, I know we have to have another meeting off season, and most of us, half of us will be zooming in, so I don't know where you're gonna be on vacation, I don't know if you wanted to zoom in, or.
You probably can just do it for, we will have Zoom.
Okay, all right, so, but, the thing is, there's stuff for to do the treasurer's report, if I moved it, because I was thinking, what's the big deal? But if I move it, there's a lot of stuff that has to be done, that it's hard for me.
I need to
gotta-
go.
right.
You need the time. Okay.
Yeah. So, I'm gonna keep it on March 25th for now. 10 a.m. And, I think that's it. We'll.
Motion to adjourn.
Can I just have a couple little items?
Okay, yep.
Just real quick. One is the kayak club is going to freshen up the post and a rope going into the to the yacht club, and needs to be painted. And Sam wanted me to acknowledge that they're going to do that. And the second thing I have is a resident asked me if we could modify the gate coming into the pool to make it scooter friendly. So I do pipe, I don't do fences, but I contacted Superior Fence, I brought them in. That's their forte. And the man got back to me and he said, it's not that it can't be done. Martin County does not allow a gate to swing into the pool.
Okay.
So we can't do it by code. So I asked him, what about our other gate? We got a gate right here that does swing into the pool. He said, that's okay, it's grandfathered. So we're all cool on what we have, but we can't do anything with the other gate. It has to swing out the way it does, and that's it. So I just wanted to respond to that.
We need to make sure that's in the minutes, Holly.
And that's all I have, that's it.
Okay, perfect. Thank you. Anything else? Any last comment before I adjourn?
Motion to adjourn.
I'll make a motion to adjourn this meeting.
I'll second it.
All in favor? Aye.